So tell me about your books. I know I've read Magician versus Mule. As soon as you get the Meconomy on Audible, I will get to read to it. But yeah, I want to know about all of your books and give us just kind of those cliff notes on each one.
Yeah, I think I have 12 books out now. The first 3 or 4 were, really interview style books with high level people. I wanted someone from Apprentice, Kendra Todd back in the day. She won The Apprentice. I got her to do an interview with me. Frank McKinney, Michael Gerber. These are all good books, by the way. Michael Gerber, Frank McKinney, they'll write books about business. Again, I was sharing my journey. This is 2006, November 21st, 2006 is when I came out with my first book. And, we sold thousands, and all the profits go to charity, which still to this day are the same way. So we've given 6 figures easily away, mid 6 figures, if not more, away through the book sales. And that's because of people that buy the books, which is awesome. So I did that. And then, I have a book out, virtual investing, right? I was a virtual real estate investor, meaning I was a business owner that did business. I was sitting in South Beach, Florida, and my team was in Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. And then, when we started traveling all over the world, we're sitting in France, deals are happening in Cleveland. Our office is now in Florida. I mean, it was wild times, man. So, I just shared journey and story. If you follow my books, you see the evolution process that I'm in real time. And then I wrote a book called 10-Minute Business Owner, because I started really detaching from the business to see how well it could grow without me. Mm-hmm. And this may sound weird to an entrepreneur, but Chris, you know this to be true, is sometimes we actually hold the company down. We don't allow it to grow, because we're afraid to grow us. We're afraid to grow our finances, afraid to grow our fear. A lot of times we're the problem. Actually, all the time we're the problem. So I knew that. So I was out on the yacht. We're in the Caribbean. Me and my wife and my son were hanging out on this little island by ourselves. And I was just journaling. And I was like, dude, I could run my business in 10 minutes or less a day. And I just kind of put it on paper how I do it. How do you constrain conversations? Because a lot of business owners, we'll just talk. We'll just end the game. Boom, take call. Hey, honey, I'll be right back. But it causes conflict at home. If you have a spouse, you know what I mean? It's not present, all this. So I was like, if I only had 10 minutes a day sitting on an island, who do I talk to and what do I talk about? And what information do I need to see to know that my business is growing, shrinking, or in trouble, or working out really well? So what it does is it forces you to get serious about things that matter. A lot of times there's just a lot of chatter going on in life. So, not understanding what KPIs, key performance indicators mean, right? Typically everyone's like, I'm tracking everything. Well, then that means you have nothing because it's a lot to track. So in my company, in the real estate, I just needed to know how many properties we acquired, because I understood the model. Our business, if we acquired 7, that you keep in mind 7, that means that means we probably sold 10, because there was a formula we had internally that I knew, our team knew, if we're buying 7, it equaled, 1.3 or whatever X. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't even have to ask how much money we made, because we always made 12 grand a deal. So if we sold 10, I already knew we made 120 that day. Right. And that's not net. That's 120, 120 gross plus staff team, knowing that we had a 38% net profit margin in that business or whatever. So these are things that, again, it's the 10 minutes, talking, you're on a global phone. Who's on this phone with me? I'm not calling Home Depot trying to, beat up my contractor. Dude, you got beef jerky on that bill? I'm not paying beef jerky. You got a Monster Energy drink? F you. You're stealing from me. You got tools on there? Get out of here. You know what I mean? Anybody that's been in real estate, definitely.
Yeah.
We've all done that. So, again, it's I had to start changing my conversations. It's not like I'm beneath them, but I'm not serving anybody if I'm playing ball with them one-on-one. So it's this is the multiplication effect. Even in the beginning too, even if there's 2 people on the call, it's one less call I have to make, right? So maybe a small operation, maybe get accounting and your assistant. I don't know. Just you got to start learning how to drive bigger conversations, honestly.
So that was the 10-minute businessman, and then you moved into Magician versus Mule.
Yeah, Magician versus Mule was the next book, because it's kind of how did I get to the 10-minute business owner? Well, I had to learn about being a magician. By the way, business ownership is not about being it's not a magic trick. It's not it just a magician is someone that works really hard to perfect their trick, right? It's not David Copperfield sat at home and said, I'm going to be the best magician, and now he is. He had to learn behind the scenes. He had to work hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of hours to do a 30-second trick to make everyone in awe. So, magician versus mule, we're all designed as mules, right? We're built as mules. We're all mules. The question is, once you realize it, you got to start fixing it. And that's why you're probably here following Chris, because you're realizing there's more to life than being a mule. And that book really, that's actually been my #1 bestseller. It's been compared to the Robert Kiyosaki book a lot, which is really cool. Because it's just a different perspective. I think that's why and people resonate with it. Like, I remember that book very well. Like with my mother, I used to see my parents work so hard. They're hardworking people. Her company that she worked for just muled her out like you've never even seen, right? So I just remember how hard she'd work, and I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want to be the mule like that. She did what they had to do with the knowledge they had. So It's not knocking, it's just the reality. And then you fast forward to me economy, right? When COVID and all that stuff hit, I was getting a lot of people stressing out. Like, what are you doing? What do you do? And the truth is, I've been virtual since '05, right? So I didn't really have that disruption. I was always going to have my kids homeschooled. Why? Because I don't believe in the school system. I never have, even when I was in it. I'm like, why am I learning about this? It's never going to do anything for me. Not to say kids shouldn't learn and all that stuff. I'm not saying that, but I can learn this in 3 hours a day. I don't need to sit there 12 hours a day. You got to ask yourself, why was the school system created? The structure. Well, to create, to build employees. That's why. That's it. No more, no less, honestly. So I've always known that. So it didn't really affect us a lot. It did affect us traveling, right? Because we travel a lot for fun. But, listen, be thankful for what you got, right? We didn't get, everyone's healthy. But I wrote that book during that time because I was getting a lot of questions from high-end people and everybody, like socially and email and all that, calls. But Me Economy is really about being selfish in the moment. You got to take care of you. If you're a better you're a better giver, you're a better husband, better spouse, and
definitely,
guy, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just we want to, share some real knowledge, help people grow.